2 million people dead for one city. The Battle of Stalingrad became the bloodiest battle in human history, where soldiers fought for individual rooms, where life expectancy was 24 hours, and where starvation drove men to unspeakable acts. But this battle didn't have to happen. The reason it did reveals everything about pride, ego, and the moment Nazi Germany's fate was sealed. What you're about to learn will change how you see World War II. Stalingrad wasn't just a battle. It was two dictators clashing over a symbol. A city bearing Stalin's name versus Hitler's army, and millions trapped between them. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We cover critical World War II moments every week, revealing truths your textbooks never taught. August 23, 1942. The Luftwaffe drops 40,000 tons of bombs on Stalingrad in one day. The city erupts in flames. But why the city? Stalingrad sits on the Volga River, the lifeline bringing oil from the Caucasus to Soviet forces. Take Stalingrad. You cut the Soviet Union in half. You strangle their fuel supply. You win the war. But the real reason goes deeper. This city carries Stalin's name. Losing it means catastrophic propaganda defeat. Hitler becomes obsessed. This stops being about strategy. It becomes personal. Two tyrants using millions of lives as game pieces. Stalin issues Order 227, not one step back. Retreat equals execution. Desert, and your family suffers. Die fighting Germans, or die facing your own firing squad. Hitler declares, where the German soldier sets foot, there he remains. The stage is set for carnage. Drop a comment. What World War II battle should we cover next? Your suggestions shape our content. September 1942. German forces enter the city. The Germans had mastered blitzkrieg, lightning war with tanks and aircraft. But Stalingrad is 99% rubble. Shattered buildings. Twisted metal everywhere. Soviet General Vasily Chukov develops a revolutionary tactic. Hug the enemy. Stay so close to German positions that bombers can't strike without killing their own troops. Transform every building into a fortress. Force Germans to fight for every floor, every room. Combat looked like this. Fighting inside destroyed factories where visibility is 30 feet. Grenades thrown into rooms before entering. Fighting so close rifles are useless. Soldiers use sharpened shovels. The front line becomes a vertical maze where Germans hold the ground floor. Soviets the second floor. Nobody knows what's in the basement. The average Soviet reinforcement survives 24 hours. They cross the Volga under constant German fire. Many die before reaching land. Those who make it get thrown into combat immediately, often without ammunition, sometimes without weapons. The man with the rifle shoots. The man without follows. When the first falls, the second picks up the rifle. Then there's Pavlov's house. One apartment building. Sergeant Yakov Pavlov and 59 men defend it for 59 days. They mine every approach. Create firing positions in every window. Repel wave after wave of attacks. Germans lose more men assaulting Pavlov's house than capturing Paris. November 1942. While Hitler's 6th Army bleeds inside Stalingrad, Soviet commanders plan Operation Uranus. A massive double envelopment targeting weak flanks held by poorly equipped Romanian and Italian units. November 19th. Over 1 million Soviet soldiers, 13,000 artillery pieces, and 1,000 tanks explode into Axis flanks from both sides. In 4 days, they complete encirclement. 300,000 German soldiers trapped in a frozen pocket called the Kessel. Hitler orders General Friedrich Paulus to hold at any cost. No retreat. Hermann Göring promises the Luftwaffe can supply the trapped army by air. They need 700 tons daily. The Luftwaffe delivers 94 tons average. Not nearly enough. December becomes January. The coldest winter in decades. Inside the Kessel, German soldiers freeze and starve. They burn furniture, books, anything for warmth. Horses are slaughtered and consumed. Then all rations run out. What happens next is horrific. Documented cases of cannibalism exist. Dead soldiers are not always buried. Desperation transforms human beings. These troops conquered most of Europe. Now they fight over frozen bread scraps. Comment Stalingrad and tell me what shocks you most. I read every comment. January 1943. Soviet forces split the Kessel into 2 pockets. Paulus begs Hitler for permission to surrender. Hitler promotes him to field marshal. Why? Because no German field marshal had ever surrendered. The message: die fighting or take your own life. February 2nd, 1943. Paulus surrenders anyway. Of 300,000 Germans trapped, only 90,000 survive to surrender. Of those, only 5,000 ever see Germany again. The full cost: Soviet casualties exceed 1 million. Axis casualties reach 840,000. Civilian deaths number at least 40,000. 2 million people dead or wounded for one city. Stalingrad is reduced to rubble. 99% destroyed. The Volga runs red with blood. Survivors describe walking on corpses because ground was no longer visible. This is annihilation. Why does Stalingrad matter? This battle is the true turning point of World War II. Not D-Day. Not Pearl Harbor. Stalingrad. Before Stalingrad, the Wehrmacht appeared invincible. After Stalingrad, Germany entered permanent retreat. German morale shattered. The invincibility myth died. Soviet confidence exploded. They defeated Hitler's elite forces under the worst conditions. There's a deeper lesson about totalitarian leadership. Hitler refused retreat even when it was the only rational choice because admitting error was impossible. Stalin forced soldiers to die for a city because it carried his name. Millions died not for military objectives, but for ego. This battle revolutionized urban warfare doctrine. Soviets proved defenders could neutralize superior technology in cities. Every room becomes a bunker. Every building a fortress. Military academies worldwide still study Stalingrad. What disturbs me most? The vast majority were not ideologues. They weren't fanatical Nazis or devoted communists. They were conscripted farmers, factory workers, students forced into uniforms and fed into a meat grinder created by leaders who never faced consequences. Stalingrad stands as a monument to both suffering and resilience. That anyone survived 5 months is extraordinary. That Stalingrad was rebuilt demonstrates incredible determination. If this made you think differently, subscribe right now. Enable notifications. Every week we go beyond surface history, revealing strategic calculations and human stories that shaped our world. Go to comments and tell me which aspect you want explored deeper. Individual soldier stories? Tactical evolution? Political calculations? Your feedback determines our content. If you found value here, share this with someone who loves history. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video, where we're covering something that will blow your mind.